It's the 21st century BCE. The world of the Bronze Age was anything but a safe and peaceful place. Wars were fought, civilizations were being carved, and great kings made themselves masters of vast lands. In this special episode, we talk about how the ancient world looked like in the year 2023 BCE. Egypt has been at war for decades. The first intermediate period marked the end of the old Egyptian kingdom and brought crisis and disarray. For more than a century, several factions and local dynasties controlled portions of Egypt and were in constant conflict with each other. In approximately 2060 BCE, the ruler of the local dynasty in Thebes, Intef III, was succeeded by his son Mentuhotep II. The new pharaoh controlled the upper Egypt, while the lower land was under the rival dynasty ruling from Heracleopolis. Mentuhotep soon faced threats from his rivals, whose army reportedly conquered Thinis and sacked Abydos in the 14th year of Mentuhotep's reign. The Theban king then finally moved north with his army. The pharaoh of Heracleopolis, Merikari, did not shy away, and thus the decisive battle was fought. In the end, Mentuhotep II was victorious, while his rival Merikare either fell in battle or died shortly afterwards. Mentuhotep thus finally had an open road into the Lower Egypt, and soon set his unification plan in motion. The process took more than an additional decade to complete, but eventually Mentuhotep was able to defeat what was left of the Heracleopolis dynasty and gradually conquer all of Lower Egypt. The country was finally unified under Mentuhotep's 11th dynasty, and the Middle Kingdom of Egypt was founded. In 2023 BCE, Mentuhotep II was a happy man, the most powerful king in the world, and at the peak of his powers. Unlike Mentuhotep, his powerful counterpart from Mesopotamia was far from being happy. Ibis-Sin was the king of the declining Neo-Sumerian Empire based in the city of Ur. His kingdom was being pressured by enemies on all sides, including the ever-expanding Amorites to the north and Elam to the east. Ibis-Sin fought back hard. He worked with the local Ensis, the rulers of the Sumerian cities, in attempts to ensure their loyalty. The kingdom of Simurum to the north was at a constant conflict with the Sumerians. Sensing their overlord's weakness, Simurum once again broke their vassalage and declared war. While Ibis-Sin already had enough problems, he did take his time to seek revenge and marched on Simurum with his army. The Sumerian king claimed victory and even destruction of Simurum, but that was clearly not the case. While Ibis-Sin possibly defeated Simurum in battle, he certainly did not destroy their kingdom, and instead went back to Ur, abandoning the offensive strategy and focusing on defense. By the time 2023 BCE arrived, Ibis-Sin was overseeing the construction of the defensive walls of his main cities, Ur and Nippur. Destined to eventually fall to his enemies, Ibis-Sin was a busy man in 2023 BCE, but definitely not happy. The ever-declining power of Sumer allowed other regions in and around Mesopotamia to slowly rise in power. 2023 BCE was a good year for Lurak-Luhan, the king of Elam's Shimashki dynasty, as his realm was free of Sumerian hegemony. Unfortunately for Lurak-Luhan, he would not live long enough to see the eventual fall of Ur, but for the time being, he was happy, and had he used the modern calendar, he would have certainly at least thrown a party for happy 2023. Among his other happy counterparts were Hitlal-Era of Mari and Puzur-Ashur I of Assyria. In Mari, Hitler-Erad had just become ruler that same year and was only nominally a Sumerian vassal, while in reality an independent monarch. In fact, the rulers of Mari during this time carried the title of Shakanaku or military governor only while communicating to the Sumerian kings. For all other purposes, they styled themselves Lugal, meaning king. In Assyria, Puzur-Ashur I had also just seized control of the city of Ashur and asserted himself an independent ruler. Puzur-Ashur is credited with the foundation of Assyria as an independent kingdom, at a time when its territory was no larger than the boundaries of the city of Ashur. While the Near East was a place of flourishing societies, another civilization was being built in the Aegean. On the island of Crete, the Minoans were building their first palace centers and setting up foundations for one of the most advanced civilizations of their time. Cities such as Knossos, Phaistos, and Gurnia were established as major regional centers and would in the following centuries influence all of the Aegean Sea. On the coast of Asia Minor, the city of Troy was also developing into an important local city. The phase known as Troy IV lasted from 21 to 1900 BCE, known for the construction of large fortifications that served to protect the emerging trading hub. In the continental Greece, however, there were no grand cities or major civilizations. What was taking place was gradual replacement of the prehistoric tribes with the newly emerging cultures. The Tyrrhens culture was centered around the settlement of Tyrrhens in Argolis, but also present in central Greece and the Ionian Islands. While we do not have direct evidence on whether the Tyrrhens culture was replaced or simply evolved into the later Mycenaean Greece, we do know that Argolis would serve as the center of a wide impacting civilization that would rise in the late Bronze Age. For the time being, the rulers at Tyrrhens were happily entering the year 2023 BCE. On the other hand, with us entering the year 2023, the time has finally come for the WanaxTV 2022 YouTube Community Awards. As promised, we are announcing and rewarding the top 3 users in the following categories: Most comments, Most liked, Top conversation starter, and the overall MVP of 2022. I'd like to congratulate to the overall winner, Mercian Thane, who will have the opportunity to choose a video for WanaxTV in the coming months. The rest of the awards, as well as their respective winners, are available in the video description. Special thanks to History with Sai, Nico, Chris Ernst, Panayotis Yiannopoulos, Fred Leckie, Tim Lane, Derek Wildstar, ABC Shake, Padre91, Argyris Margaritis, Huel Sally Briggs, Labelle Olmier, Wynyard Illumination, and Estate Care on their continuous support. If you wish to discuss and decide on the future content, feel free to join us on Patreon. Finally, I'd like to thank to all of you for the tremendous support throughout the past year. I wish you all happy winter holidays, and we'll see you again soon.